We got Omarion coming in too, and of course Kelis.
What up, O?
Hey, greetings. What's up? Peace to
I'm looking.
all.
I'm looking for this default picture.
What's up, Kiki? How you doing?
Hey.
Yes. Right now, we're just waiting for Kelis to come in. But you guys, as you can see, we got Keri Hilson with us today. Singer, songwriter, actress, model. I mean, the list goes on. Also, we have singer, songwriter, actor, dancer, the one and only Omarion. And like I said,
Hey.
entering the room in just a few moments is going to be the amazing writer, songwriter, musician, and chef, which Kelis, ever since she became a chef, I be looking at her page, always getting hungry. I had to stop going and visiting it because Mama can cook down.
Yes.
So where are you guys at right now? Like, are you in LA? Oh, are you in Atlanta, Keri? Where are you guys at right now?
I'm actually in LA right now.
Really? Did you move here?
Yes. No, but I'm bi-coastal.
Okay, boom, boom. So you just back and forth, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'm on Planet Nimic. I don't know if y'all have ever been. No, I'm just teasing.
I'm about to say, I'm like, come on now. You better tell me about the next meditation location. I thought you were so serious, and I was so ready for
No, I'm
this.
just teasing.
We know you're on Planet Unbothered. That's what we do.
Okay. I done heard about these Scorpios.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Quick
a Scorpio, Marion.
Yeah.
This, you know what? It all makes sense now.
Yeah, he's a Scorpio.
Does it?
It does. It does.
Okay.
It does.
So wait, Keri, what does Scorpio mean to you?
Well, Scorpios are very, very, very private and very
Yes.
secretive.
Very.
And they love to have you in their web. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Woo, come
Yes.
on, Web.
But it's a very covert way. It's very, very covert and really, really charming almost. Like it's so
Yeah, they're
but they
seducing
really are.
for sure.
Yeah, but when I think about the unbothered part, that's the Scorpio nature for sure. Like just
Right.
really chill, really, really can't really be moved.
Yeah, my sister's a Scorpio moon, and she gives, she's a Capricorn sun, but she gives that Scorpio energy mostly. Like it's that very, like you said, cool, calm, collected, and you know what I mean, like very unbothered. It's really great.
Yeah.
Virgos are not like that. We really are extra. We're very neurotic. So
I love Virgos. I actually get along well with Scorpios and Virgos.
which sign are you again, Keri?
A Sag.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, but who don't love a Sag? You got to be crazy not to love a Sag. They always bring that fun energy.
That's what I think, but a lot of people hate a Sag.
Those are usually people that don't know how to deal with not being in the spotlight, because a Sag will take a spotlight fast without trying.
That's interesting. Yeah, possibly.
She said, Well, while we're waiting on Kelis, you guys, I want to remind all the listeners, anyone can host their own Facebook Live audio rooms, just like I am right now. All you got to do is look under the status bar, click room, choose live audio. You know what I mean? And bada boom, bada bing, bam. And also, like I said, they've got this new chat bubble at the bottom of your screen. So let us know what's on your mind. We might answer a few questions coming towards the end, but I'll get into it and let Kelis come in when she's ready. But today is all about creating success in the new year. You guys know it's been a crazy 2021. I was about to say 2022. That's how quickly I'm trying to get up out of 2021, child. But it's been a crazy, interesting year for everybody. And so today I wanted to talk to you guys about, success in the new year and how you're kind of ramping up, for the new year. So I'll go ahead and pose this question to both of you guys. At the end of the year, for me, I love to reflect, what kind of year has this been for you, professionally, personally? If you give me, even if you name it with a few words that would kind of exemplify the themes for you this year.
I could start off. This year has been like no other. In 2019, right before the pandemic, I was actually on the second leg of the Millennium Tour, and everything kind of shut down. And then, who knew it was going to be so much time in between. So, when I came back for the tour, which was, after the pandemic, it felt like so much work. I was so excited to, get back to work, but it felt like so much work energetically. I would
Mm-hmm.
say that it has been, an interesting year. I think I like to also, reflect at the end of the year. I think that is always good. Set new goals, find some new disciplines. Um, I would say overall, though, my year has been pretty awesome, and I'm so grateful, for the balance of having to not always experience good things, because good things are good things, but other
Yeah.
things are things that allow you to just see different approaches and different perspectives. So I would say all in all, my year has been pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, you definitely, I mean, you've always been an icon to us, but get when you become a meme like that, I know that got to just feel good because that just everybody just love you. When I tell you that dance is everything to me, and the fact that everyone tries to,
Are you
just
talking about
copy.
the Omarion challenge,
You
Kiki?
know what I'm talking about, the Omarion challenge. Because what I love about it is like it's literally nobody can dance like Omarion. You know what I'm saying? And so just to see
Facts.
everybody trying to tap into that, it was just like
That was so cool.
amazing. That
That
was
was
so
so
dope,
cool.
man. I know he was
Yeah,
just like, yes, this love all over the world. That's
exactly.
impact, man.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
see Kelis just joined, so I want to say hello.
Hey, Kelis, how you doing?
Hi,
Hi
Kelis.
guys, how are you?
Good,
Awesome.
good.
Good.
We
Good.
were
Long
Good to
just
hear
time.
everybody.
yeah, we were just starting the convo. I was asking Omarion just answering. I was gonna obviously ask Keri and you as well. Kind of what this year exemplified for you personally, professionally. What were some of the themes that coming out of this year you're thinking back and reflecting on?
Yeah, go right ahead, Kelis. Jump on in.
Okay, well, this year has been, I think for everybody, it was such a shift. And I think a lot of people were expecting one thing and got something else.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think it was just being able to pivot and to be sort of
Mm,
flexible. I think especially for me, just being an artist, and this is all I've done for the past, like a lot of, I think a lot of other people have their hands in a lot of different things. And for me, it was always just the music and just
mhm.
writing. And that was always kind of my focal point until a few years ago when I decided to branch out and just start doing some other stuff. It was always just sort of, it was for fun. I didn't really have to think about like what I would do when I wasn't performing or when I wasn't singing,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and so this
Yeah.
past 2 years, really, like when I was on tour when the pandemic hit and I had to come home, and it just put a monkey wrench in everything. And so I came home, and at first I was pregnant. I was just like, what the hell? Like, just like, what is happening right now? And
Right.
once I really kind of like, I got home and I got settled back in, it was dope because it really gave me
Yeah,
time to be
for real.
creative in another way,
That's
and to
fact.
remind myself that like I can pivot and I can do so many other things. And I don't have,
Yeah.
I love being on stage, but if I can't be right now, there's
Right.
other stuff that I can do that I love to do. And so that for
That's
me
fact.
was,
Yes.
what I mean,
That's
it was
amazing.
nice, it was a nice reminder for me just to be like, yo, I could do other stuff and feel really good about it and love it. And so just, working on, I have a farm, and I've got 3 kids, and,
Ooh,
working
praise
on my
God.
business and like, just, all that stuff. And so it was dope. Like, I hate to say that just because it's like, I know it was such a crazy year for a lot
Right.
of people, but like for me, it was like still, my kids, my oldest especially, because like I take my kids on tour with me. They
Tight.
were like, we've not been grounded since they were since they were born. I was, talking to,
Right.
Right.
we're never home. So for us to be home
Right.
for a whole year, they were like, wait, they were confused. Like, why aren't we leaving? What are we doing? So like it was interesting, but it was cool too, just being able to be
Yeah.
home and like, switch it up a bit. So it's been
Tight.
interesting. It's been great. My business was able to thrive in a different way. And so that was
Yeah.
really exciting. And it was
Yeah, I
cool.
look forward
Awesome.
to trying your stuff. Speaking of your
Oh my
business, like
gosh,
your
yes.
cooking
Oh,
looks.
thank you. Oh, you know what?
It's
After this,
Oh
I'll
my
make sure I
God.
send you guys out a box, and you guys
oh
can
my gosh,
sample all kinds of
Please.
stuff.
I
Please.
want
For
one
sure.
too.
We've got all this
Your
farm grown
sauces
stuff.
have
So
been
I'm
on
always,
my
yeah,
list.
all of it. I got
people in
you.
the comments, were already talking about trying to get them sauces. So go ahead and
Uh-huh.
We got all kinds of stuff. I've been out here. That's the thing. I had time, right? So like,
Right.
where it was fun before, and I did it kind of like as a hobby. It was, I went to culinary school, and then I went back out on the road, and so like
Right.
mm-hmm.
this was the first time I was able to like be home and just
Mm.
play around and do these things. And so I bought all these big smokers, and so I'm smoking salts and peppers, and I
Oh,
have an
Wow.
tight.
olive grove, so I press my own olive oil, and
Oh.
it was just all this stuff that
Okay.
it was all in theory. It was a great idea, but I didn't have time to do it. I was always rushing and
Right.
kind of, so this gave me time to like really flex a little bit and really do stuff. And it's been so dope. Like I've loved every second of it. We
That's
grow so
awesome.
many things here now,
We
and
can see that.
we've got animals, and like it's fun. It's it's like the next phase of my life that I'm loving.
Get
That's
it.
dope.
Oh,
That's
amazing.
dope.
I would love to visit. Can we just take a trip?
Please come out.
Yeah.
I do these big dinners out here and like have this massive bonfire, and just everything is from the farm. So we'll plan
What?
something. We should do that. It'll be dope. We could definitely do that.
Please. I have a
We could
friend who
definitely do that.
you've cooked for a friend of mine, a really close friend of mine. I won't say who on the live, but
Okay.
the raving about your cooking though.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad it was a good night.
But you could just tell. You could just tell. I mean, she told us that even the milkshake was bringing the boys to the yard. So
Okay.
meats and
Right.
potatoes, child, it'd be even better.
Right. Now she's bringing
I
everybody
see
to the
baby
farm.
too.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, what about you, Keri? What about you? What has this year been for you?
Yeah, the pivot word, I think that has been a recurring theme for myself and so many others that I know, obviously, all of us on this call. So I guess for me, it represented change as well. And just trying to, I'll just say it. I hate tooting my own horn, but 5 lead roles within 1 year was an awesome year for
Let's
me.
go.
Yes,
Let's
that
go.
is,
So dope. Congrats. That's amazing.
and I just want anybody to know, anybody that's not an actor or, you have assumptions about it, work does not come in like that. So
Right.
that is
Right.
definitely a huge
Right.
accomplishment for her to get 5 lead
Yep.
roles in 1 year.
Congratulations.
You're lucky if you
Yeah,
get
for
1 or
sure.
2. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Well, I will say it did start at the end of last year. Like some of the things that released this year, it was all but planting the seeds throughout the quarantine and
Yeah.
Right.
all this
Right.
year. I was auditioning. I was back in acting classes. I'm really trying to just snatch the pivot, perfect the
Let's
pivot.
go.
I love
Uh-huh.
that.
Let's go.
Snatch the pivot. That's
So
good.
I just, yeah, for me, it was like change, and it was also being a student. I have to create. If, like all of you, I'm sure you can
Yeah.
relate. We were born to express in whatever medium that is, whether that's
That's right.
cooking, whether that's dancing, whether that's singing,
Yeah.
writing,
Yeah.
performing, hosting, whatever that is. And Kiki, with your expressions in your reels and your,
Oh,
you
thank
know,
you so much.
yeah, like we were all born to create. And I think I really think even those that are not performers, we're all meant to create, whether that's we're in a financial job or whatever lifestyle we're in. We are meant to remain, we have to be not lucrative, lubricated, in our craft, whatever that is. And to do that, you must stay creative and look at things creatively. So for me, it was change. It was pivoting. It was snatching shit. It
dope.
was, and learning to sit the hell down sometimes.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all.
that's
Yeah.
big for me.
Yes.
That's big for me.
Yeah, because I related to you, Kelis, on that. Like sometimes you gotta sit and sit with your stuff. I think I had been running all year from grieving, from the grieving process of my father, and that's just realizing that, like, oh my God, I'm running from certain people. I'm running from certain conversations.
Right.
Right.
I need to sit with my pain, and this year actually taught me that too.
That's what's up.
Even I think actually the movies came from me running because I wanted an alternate universe to live in for a few
Oh,
weeks.
yeah, I can relate.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I think that's
seriously.
so important though, right? Like I feel like we're taught to hustle, right? And so it's like, and I totally agree with you. I absolutely believe that every single person, no matter what the medium, we are built to create. We were born to create, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I think we forget,
We forget. Did you drop out, please?
I think we lost her for a
that's the
second.
way that I can explain it.
Uh-oh.
You just
Uh-oh.
came
I'm here.
back.
Can y'all hear me?
Boom.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
we hear you now. We hear you now.
Okay. No, I was just saying, I think as a creative person, and I think we are all created to create. I totally agree with Keri on that. I feel like we feel like it's motion, right? And so you feel like if it's not moving forward, it's not moving. But I think that can be a misconception. I feel like it's so important to teach yourself. And I think it's something you learn with age also, to be able to
Yep.
sit so that you can actually
Mhm.
process on your own, right, without all the other stuff that we have to filter out on a daily basis, but really be able to sit, you know, and to see what that feels like and to be okay with that, because it's okay to be still sometimes. There's a time and a place for every action, right? So I think that's
Absolutely.
really powerful. It's really powerful to be able to say I can be still.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
So I
Yeah.
want to ask you guys, obviously, you know, there's always the whole, oh, New Year's resolution and what you're looking for the coming of the next year. And, you know, I know for me personally, especially when I was a kid, I used to always be like, oh, I'm going to stop doing this, or I want to do X, Y, and Z. But as I've gotten older, I kind of just been like, God, you know, just take it away. You know, whatever it is, just let me know. I want to just, you know, follow your what you want. I don't even want to put nothing specific out there. How do you guys go about, you know, preparing for your next year? Do you make a list, or do y'all kind of just free flow it? Like, what's your vibe?
Hmm.
Yeah, I can speak first, ladies. I have I do write things down. I think that when you tend to write things down and see your thoughts, it does bring about a type of clarity. I always like to go into any of my projects or anything that I do creatively or personally intentional. And so I always take a moment to sit back and really just see what it is that I want to create for myself. And I think when you are intentional, you can find those steps, those necessary steps that it takes to bring certain things to life. So at the end of the year, I always take some time to write, take some time for some quietness. And, I become intentional, and then, I spring into action. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I love
I
that, and
love that.
I agree completely with the writing things down. But when you write something down, you light a little candle and just boom, meditate on it or whatever like that. It just really does
Mm-hmm.
feel like that practice is
Yeah.
a part of making it come into reality. So I definitely, writing things down is always, it's always a good thing to do.
You
Yeah.
know, you just reminded me of something that not reminded me, but you just led me into my practice for the end of the year. I write it down, and it's usually the things that I would like to put down, and it might be damaging behavior. It might be, it's not so physical. Sometimes it's a
Mm-hmm.
mentality that I know, okay,
Wow, yeah.
you know what I mean? My
Mm-hmm.
lack of discipline, I might write that down. I might
Okay.
write
That's what's
things
up.
that I would like to let go, but it's in the area
Tight.
of virtues and behaviors or thought
That's dope.
processes and character
Dope.
traits and things like that, right? So I write them
Mm-hmm.
down, the things that I need to really cleanse myself, my spirit of,
Mm-hmm.
and I take that candle that you spoke of, and then I burn it. So I reflect on it, I pray, I meditate. I'll
Mm-hmm.
find like the full moon, that whenever that happens in December, and I know that sounds real witchy,
Mm-hmm.
but moons are endings and beginnings, and
Break it down.
it doesn't have to be the calendar date of the 31st to the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
You can really have your quote unquote ritual whenever you see fit, and I burn it, I let it go, I completely involve myself for like 3 hours in like really really digging deep inside, and really really allowing myself to let go.
That's what's up. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So yeah, that's my yearly practice.
I like that. I think we're all kind of on the same path. I think I generally, usually it's a fast. And so I'll do a
Oh, that's
fast.
what's up.
And just, yeah, to reset spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
mentally,
Yeah.
physically. It kind
Mm-hmm.
of just wraps it all up into one thing. And I do like to make a list of things that I'm praying for, things that I'm wanting to, whatever it is really, but it is kind of just a focused list of like things that I'm focused on, I guess, or thinking about or looking for. And then usually I'll do a fast, and it does include, it has to do with food and how I'm, and that varies every year, but it generally, I feel like it's a nice reset and kind
Mm-hmm.
of, restart, refresher, all of that good stuff.
Mm.
That's what's
You
up.
just reminded me, I'm probably going to let go of dairy.
Ooh, I've let go of gluten of, and it's changed my life.
Yes, good. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I
Yeah.
let go of dairy every night. I let go of different things at different phases, but I've recently picked dairy back up for some reason.
Don't do it.
Tastes
Don't do it.
good.
Don't
I
do it.
know.
Don't
Not
do it.
not all things. Like I would
Maybe
never.
just a food suggestion on that. I can't help myself.
There are
Yeah.
so many alternatives. So
Just
it
really
is.
quick, this is not what we're talking about, but I just want to say this. A lot of times I think because as Black people we're told that dairy is bad for us and all these things. The problem is that we're eating very pasteurized, very processed dairy.
Whoa.
And the
Come on.
reality is that if
Mhm.
you eat raw dairy, if you're eating raw milk, raw butter, raw cheese, or goat milk, goat butter, goat cheese, that will have a huge change in your digestive system, your respiratory
Facts.
system, lack of
Facts.
mucus, all these things. I'm just saying, I can't
And
help myself.
and to
That's
piggyback
facts.
and to piggyback off of what Kelis is saying too, with that, a lot of times we think we're lactose, but really it's something else. Like for instance, ever since I let go of gluten, my stomach lining has become a lot stronger, and so I can
Mhm.
actually eat dairy. So a lot of times you think you have an issue with something, but it's really something else that's creating that issue. So maybe sometimes maybe dairy ain't all the way a no go.
Yes, I just have to, I just recently did the eat for my blood type thing. I'm not trying to go all down the rabbit hole. But yes, that's a good point. Valid point for sure.
Also, you guys, if you're just
Almond
coming
milk is
into
good though. Almond milk
I
is
do
almond
love
good
milk
though.
is
almond
very
milk.
good.
I bought
Rice
a thing
milk,
that I can
you
make
know.
my own almond milk. I make
If you
my own
guys are just
almond milk,
joining
my own
us,
oat milk, my own cashew milk.
Oh, okay.
if you
There
guys
it
are
is
just
right
joining
there.
us,
That
I'm
way
here
I
with
know what's in
Keri.
it, because they only be having 2% in the ones we get in the store. 2% of the nut that they claim that it is, and water.
Right. Right.
You guys, if you're
Anywho,
just joining, I'm here with Keri, Omarion, Kelis. As you guys can see, we're getting into it about everything. The conversation is
okay.
started about, how to create success in the new year. But of course, we're talking about a multitude of things. But if you're having fun, we'd love for you to share the room with the arrow at the bottom. And if you didn't know already, anyone can host their own live audio rooms. And I keep saying that because y'all, it's so much fun. And when we do these, always have such a good time. And you never, the conversations that happen and the things that you learn are always just so interesting. So look right under your status bar, click room, choose live audio, and check it out yourself. We've also got the chat bubble going, and I want to get into some questions that you guys might have, but I want to ask my final question, which I think would be, we talk about success a lot, right? And I think a lot of times when people hear success, especially from people in our field, they're always thinking about, Grammys, Oscars, movies, this and that. But I really personally think that success from those things come from personal success, come from you feeling good and happy with your life. From that point on, I think a lot of the things that are outward, tend to go in your favor. So I'd love to ask you guys, what does, what is your biggest kind of like tip for how to get success in the new year for some of these people that's listening right now?
I think honestly, first you do have to define what success is for you.
Yeah.
That I think is the most important step. And then you can go from there, because your success doesn't look like everyone else's, and everyone
Facts.
else's may not look like what you feel most successful with, so
Yeah.
I feel like that would be the very key thing. Success for you might be having a job, period. Having a stable job, or working in your passion, which may not be lucrative, it may not be fancy, it may not, provide you the things that you're looking at others, but that passionate job may really be what keeps you grounded and keeps you fulfilled. So our goals look different. I think it's important to define that.
Yeah. Don't let other people's ideas of success define you, because that's definitely,
Yes.
comparison. And I think that's what we see a lot. So I love that.
Yeah.
I love what you said, because it's really about what you think success is. Nobody else can tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think to, piggyback off of what Keri was saying, I think it's real important that you know who you are, and what you bring to the table. I think it's important when capturing success that you understand why you're doing it, and hopefully it's something that isn't on the surface. I think that we're all here in servitude to one another, this life experience. So it's like, what do you want to give, and I think that, I always like to keep that element in all the things that I do. Like, what am I giving? You know, And when you put those things out in the universe, you know, it comes back to you in all the strangest ways. You know, you could be walking down the street and someone to help you. And this is what I find energetically that
Yes.
really helps me create, you know, a better world around me, you know, and that is just like paying it forward, you know.
Yes.
So I would say in the line of success, you know, be intentional. Because if you do something awesome, you know, it can take you to so many different places. So
Oh
I
yeah.
would say
Yes.
be intentional and, you know, accept success, you know, love success in all forms because, you know, success sometimes have a way of making other people treat you differently. You know what I mean? So that's why it's
Man.
very important for you to know who you are so you can accept success on all levels.
And all the cons that may come with it, the pros with the cons, the good and
Yep.
bad. Very
Yep.
true.
Yep. Yep.
What about you, Kelis?
I mean, I think, yeah, I you know, I feel like it's measured different every day. I feel right? Like, you know, as a woman, I claim fluid all the time, right? Like I'm very much like some days I feel like I have the right to feel this way, and other days I'm like I feel completely different, and they're both
Mm-hmm.
okay. And I, you know, and
True.
I think being absolutely like Omarion said, like being comfortable and knowing who you are is the most important part of
Yeah.
that. I think because we are, you know, different even than like, you know, I've been doing this for so long now. All of us have been in this industry for so long. You know,
Right.
it's a different world now. When I
Facts.
first
Yeah.
started this, like there wasn't the access that we had, and the access that
Right.
people had to us was so different. And so I feel it was almost easier to be just to be, right? Like I could be whatever I wanted to be with and didn't even know how people felt about it because there was no access.
True.
Right.
Right. Because
True.
like I had no idea, you know, until weeks after you get on stage, you have no idea really like how, you know, and I feel like now it's such instant, like instantaneously you have, you know, you get this response, and I feel like everything is so public and everybody is so in everyone's face all the time. I think it's really hard to, or becomes more challenging to really separate yourself and be okay with that, right? And so it kind of goes back into like taking
Yeah.
those silent moments. And so for me, success is it's different. It changes. Some days I feel really
Mm.
successful because like I was able to balance my time between my the creative time that I need versus the
Mm-hmm.
time I need with my kids, you know. And sometimes it's
Mhm.
like time that I took just for me, and it
Right.
wasn't about work or anything. It was, you know, and then I feel really, you know, so it depends,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it varies, but like I do think it's really about acknowledging, you know, knowing who you are within yourself, not
Mm.
just how people see you, but how you see yourself, right? And then
Yeah.
and then checking yourself regularly as well. Like that for me feels successful when I'm able to say, like, you know
Agreed.
what, I
Agreed.
maybe didn't do this great this time, but I know
Yeah.
exactly what I need to do to get it better.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's really, for me, that's when I feel like, okay, because I'm grown. So I, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that feels
Right.
good to me. Like I feel successful in that. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
I'm
Like I can
grown.
check
Okay.
myself and I can say,
Self-evaluation.
like, you know what I mean? Like I
I'm
think
grown.
that's really
Okay.
important, you know, to be able to say, like, you know
Right.
what, like, or to be able to say that, like, I did that, like how Keri was like, not to toot my own horn, but yes, like, toot it, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, to be
No,
like, I
seriously,
did
because life
that.
is difficult.
Yes,
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
And people are going, you know what, we
Yeah.
can't allow, I think being in the public space, you know, that's where we live, that's where our careers live and all of that. I think it gets really, um, it's hard to filter out, I think, all of the other ideas and all the other opinions. And I think the only
Yeah.
one that matters is yours. And
Facts.
Yes.
so, you know, I feel successful when I'm able to say, you know what, this is what I set out to do. And I did that
Mm.
no matter what that
Mm-hmm.
is,
This is
you
what
know?
I need.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For sure. Yep.
And to piggyback off of really many of the things you guys are saying, I think a big key for me for success is all about perception. I mean,
Mm.
excuse me, not perception, perspective. My apologies. It's
Yeah.
perspective. I remember when I was
Mhm.
about 12, you know, I started entertaining when I was around 9. You know, so 12 years old, I had been in it for a while. And I remember always looking at people that I really admired, like Will Smith. And I would look at all these quotes and I would try to understand, like, what's the difference between me and the people that I admire, that I want to be like? And one thing that really came true to what like shown true to me was that the way that they think, the way that they see things, the way that their perspective
Mhm.
allows them to propel forward even when things are
Mhm.
difficult, the way that they
Right.
shape ideas in their mind allow for new pathways. And it was so
Yes.
interesting this year. I've been in such a positive place in the specific area of my life, and I
Mhm.
found myself starting to think about all of the traumatic vibes that I experienced in this space years prior. And I
Mhm.
kept wondering to myself, what's going on with me? Why am I thinking about this? Why is this coming into my mind all of a sudden? You know, I've made peace
Mhm.
with these things. And I had a conversation with my mother, and she said, well, God is trying to show you that, look at, you know, now you can cry. Now you can let it out. Now you can let it go.
Mhm.
You were being strong in that period, in that space in your life. And now God is showing you, look at how far you come from that. That's what you were experiencing. And look at how far you come now. And so I say that all to say that our perspectives, how we decide to look at things, our level of gratitude when we make it to the other side of that hill are really important in getting us to a place where we feel successful. So I just want to share that, you know, before we hunt this all up. But I want to see if there's any questions anybody had. I put some questions down in here. Everybody keeps asking me this question that I know you all get all the time. So I didn't want to ask it to you guys, but I'm going to ask it because that's the main question I keep getting, which is, when is the next time we getting some music? And that question is for all of you guys. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I wanted to get some questions on the theme, but everybody wants to ask that. So I'm going to ask that for everyone.
All right.
Yeah, so 2022 is definitely going to be a great year. I personally feel like in music, I'm going to be dropping a new album soon. It's titled Full Circle, which is the O. And dropping a book too, end of the year. It's some great things going on. So I would just say stay tuned. But the music is coming. It's coming ASAP. Okay, we know you need it. We got you. Trust that.
Yeah.
Same here. I would say, you know, I just put out a single called Midnight Snacks, and an album will be dropping this spring, Lord willing. It's called Dirt. And yeah, I'm excited. It's been a minute.
Nice. I can definitely guarantee a 2022 release. I know that I've had some false starts and some monkey wrenches, but I have overcome.
We all have.
Okay.
We can relate.
Yes, but I have overcome a major blockage in my career. So I'm grateful that I can finally release it. I'm not giving any time period. I'm not giving any dates because I would be called a liar again for the umpteenth time. So, but I can guarantee that within 2022, you will hear another Keri Hilson album.
Oh my gosh, that is exciting! Yes,
it's actually done. It's ready to
go.
Nice.
Oh, that's big.
Well, I want to thank you all. Thank you, Keri. Thank you, Omarion. Thank you, Kelis. And thank you all you listeners for joining us again. You know, I just appreciate this time that we all get a chance to have, especially around this holiday season. So I hope you guys were able to take something from this combo.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Kiki.
Thank you,
guys.
Thank you, Kiki.
Thank you, O and Kelis.
Yes. Much love to both of you guys. Brightest moments.
And Happy New Year, guys.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yes. Happy holidays.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening and tuning in and tapping in with us. And I always appreciate being surrounded by such lovely women. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.